Okay. We can just go through and introduce ourselves. I'm Michael Matthews. This is for the Gauntlet games, Usagi Yojimbo. This is our second time with this particular group, and we're going to continue from the events of last time. My pronouns are here, him. We have got, and actually, let me bring it back up. Um, we've got our lines and veils, and I will go over those in just a little bit. As always, Gauntlet's inclusivity policy is a part of it. If anybody wants to, at any time, X card can be done either in here or like thrown in the chat on like roll 20. And we can also rewind or retcon stuff as needed. If we just want to maybe go down from Akane to Shinkazu and then Dakota, want to introduce yourself and your characters.
Hi, I'm Treb. I'm playing Akane, the fugitive ninja, who left her clan to avenge the death of her sister. And I'll pass on to Gerwin.
Hi, I'm playing Shinkazu Fujiyama, the hulking giant Ronin K9 samurai. My clan has been wiped out, and as my lord lay dying, he made me swear to find a righteous opponent to die before, rather than just throwing away my life. So my character is on a quest to find a good death.
Hi there, I'm Puckett. I use he, him pronouns. Today I am playing Kota Shibata, an absolutely delightful mendicant priest who wanders around spouting off bits of Buddhism, getting quite festive with rice wine. And I'm also a turtle. And I wear basically sackcloth and a hat, and I carry a pole around with me. Also, I play the flute. And I try not to talk too much. But really, I talk way too much.
You wear sackcloth when you wear anything at all.
That is true. But not wearing anything at all is, in fact, strategic.
When you look this good and nothing at all, why not have it all the time? Okay, and actually, yeah, our lines and veils are actually on the character keeper. I was thinking it was a separate file for some reason. We have lines, or rather, our veils: eye injuries, graphic gore, sexual content, and torture. Our lines were cops, harm to domestic animals, harm to children, sexual assault, slavery, and crabs or other crustaceans. I think we talked a little bit last time, and I just do want to double check because a new seppuku came up last time. We had not had a thing on suicide on there, but up to my cat. But I just wanted to double check for that one when it happened. Since it happened right there towards the end, didn't dwell on it. Is that something? If it happens again, is that something we're okay with, or do we want to steer clear of it? We didn't have suicide marked, but I thought I would just double check on that.
Treb, you want to start?
Probably veil it. I'd probably put a veil on it.
Yep.
Because the context, it didn't bother me. I'm totally fine with putting a veil on it.
As I initiated it, I didn't bother me, but like I say, I'm happy with the veil on it.
Okay. Was it okay? Last time was okay with it was just he does the cut and then without getting into it. Or we can just kind of like zoom out of the room if that happens. So, all right. Do you want to do a recap of what happened last time?
Yes, we were traveling towards a village when we came across a group of bandits accosting a young woman who was fleeing from them with a parcel. The bandits were demanding that she tell them where the sword was, and we intervened and lost her in the process. We went to the village and found out that the sword they were talking about was one that was being sent by Lord Tetsuharu to the shogun, and was a famous blade, the sword of Terasugo. Did I write that correctly?
Yeah, Tadatsuku. I probably pronounced it incorrectly, but
I missed the T, the second T. Terasuga, and we found out that one of the guards that was assigned to actually guard the sword was the lover of this woman, and he was planning to elope and try and sell the sword to raise some money so they could move to Kyoto, or move to one of the big cities. But we managed to convince the local minister, Konosuko, to offer a reward for the return of the sword, and we drew the bandits out, killed them, killed the leader, took the scabbard and reunited it with the sword, and then gave the actual reward to Umara, who was the guard who had been the only one to survive and been the one who was planning to elope and sell off the blade itself.
sounds pretty good. Anything was forgotten there?
There were quite a few discussions about the ethics of elopement. Also a nude turtle.
Was also a ninja working about, which may have been working for the Lord. It's probably working for the Lord.
But might have been hunting Akane.
Or that.
Both are fun. Yeah, I believe at the end you all had requested to go to basically take the sword back to Lord Tetsuharu.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So Konosuke, his minister, not terribly thrilled about this, but on the way there, he just sort of turns and is like, "Now, before you enter into the Lord's presence, you were into Lord Tetsuharu's presence. You're going to need to make sure that you are better dressed than you are now and washed up." Yep, you get silence there. He just goes, and then just this whole thing is like it's very unusual. I mean, a Ronin coming into his presence is not unusual. He's been in the presence of priests and such before, but a farmer, because sort of takes a looks you over and goes, "You'll be able to provide some clothing and some a bath before this happens. He is currently in a good deal of meetings, but to present him with the sword, I'm sure he will be thrilled uh, at what has been paid and show you a proper honor for what you've done." And he just looks like he's sort of biting back bile while he says it. He is not, especially since he's the one who paid you out of his stuff. He's hoping to get it back. Yeah, he takes you. If unless somebody wants to do something on the way there, he will take you to the castle, at which there is a kind of a huge amount of like the fortress rather he's in. A lot of people. There's a lot of people here. A lot of people kind of scurrying in and out. You see what look to be a few uh, groupings of like dignitaries. You've got like some for some reason mercenary is the word that's coming to mind. That is absolutely not emissaries, ambassadors. Um, realize that he does. Kanosuke does not look like he has particularly good control over his tranquility or his kind of spirit at a basic level. Seems fairly high strung and judgy. Yeah, you do have a lot of uh, there's ambassadors and other things that are there as you go through, and a couple of like one of the a hall off the side. You see a variety of people wearing sort of uh, different lords' badges, um, seated at tables and speaking. They're mostly in the groups of their own people.
I'm gonna have a look around the room for. I've not actually established it yet, but I need to come up with a clan for the clan that actually wiped out my family, my clan itself.
Oh, there'd be a fun one for that.
So I think we're going to call them the Shinja,
The Shinja.
which means serpent. Now, there's only one snake in the Usagi Yojimbo world, but I think their actual their clan symbol, is two entwined snakes.
Okay. Yeah, you do see that there is a group that has that on their uniforms. Several of them sort of sitting down, uh, speaking with some others.
So what? Where are we at the moment? Are we actually? Are we in the Lord's? Are we in a inn in the town itself? Are we in the Lord's castle in his holdings, or?
Yeah, in his fortress. And Kanasuki turns to you at one point and is like, "I shall return shortly. Wait here if you wish to get something to eat. The servants here can get you something. Please feel free to take a seat. I will go and speak with his lordship.
Is there anywhere we may bathe?
I will get rooms prepared for you.
And is there any rice wine?
Yes, the kitchen will have some.
Outstanding.
We'll make a little bit of room for you, as I'm sure he'll wish to show you his hospitality for having saved such an important gift. He sort of turns on his heel and then, unless nobody stops him, sort of walks away.
You smell that? You smell that? I'm saying this to Kota and Akani rather than the room. There's a foul
I smell
stench.
the absence of rice wine.
There's a foul stench on the air, and I'm making a pointed look at the people wearing that clan logo, the clan symbol.
I crane my head down toward my armpit and sniff. It does not appear to be me.
No, it doesn't. Akane.
Mm-hmm.
Those fellows over there. Those retainers. Do you know anything about them? Have you heard anything of them on your travels? You are a learned man, although only a farmer. There are things that farmers share that those higher up may not.
Mm. Can I roll plus schooling to see what I know about them?
Actually, in this case, go ahead, make the read a situation roll. There's something else you may notice here.
Okay, read a search is.
Because the thing is, I would say with your actual background, these two don't know about your background, correct?
I think like I haven't revealed specifically that I'm a ninja, but they know I'm not just a farmer.
Yeah, you would have had some schooling on the various, like you would know what some of the different clans and such are, and there would some stuff you'd know. However, there might be some specific things you notice with the Rita Sitch.
Okay, so 12.
Nice.
Uh,
You get 3 questions.
Okay. What is here that concerns me?
Part of it goes back with what you would have known from like schooling and such. The Shinsha clan being here, it's a little far outside of their territory to have sent a group here. It's not unheard of. However, there is kind of a large contingent going to Edo for the shogun. Like the gift was this thing that's supposed to be sent along with a whole bunch of others presenting. Most of the people around here, because this is not terribly far from Edo, most of the ones around here are fairly local. Shinji are not only they kind of way out of their way. Um, and you said what concerns you was a question.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that a ninja is good at is when there is tension in their mission, is not showing it. Other people, not so much. This actually kind of points out 2 things to you. One, this group as a whole is tense, except no one else around them seems to be. Where if they'd had a problem with someone else, if you two houses that were like enemies were sitting nearby, it'd been both of them. The other thing you notice is there is a uh, yeah, there is a fox among them. We'll say um, there's a variety of them there. But there's a fox among them who not only is relaxed, is you kind of notice his movements. You've seen, you just sort of recognize a few of just the ways the hand and such move from when you were hiding in the shadows, and the ninja came and watched.
That brings me to my second question. Is there any trickery, deceit, or other falseness?
You see it at one point. Someone comes in, uh, sort of comes back, and this is perhaps as you're sort of like walking by at one point to hear, as you're sort of looking at them, one person just leans in and whispers. The whisper you hear is to the fox. Says, Mitsuharu's not currently in the residence. We need to wait. At which point um, the uh, the fox you saw just turns with the glare and goes, "Thank you for saying it where others could hear." There's enough background noise, and for the most part, they don't notice you listening. Um, but you do overhear that.
What do these people want?
Um, what you can tell from just how they're carrying themselves, the things that they're checking out, is, um, and then a few others who sort of like make their way towards them. They want to try to blend in like everybody else. They're not doing a particularly good job of it. It's very clear that uh, the cat is in charge. Or I'm sorry, the fox is in charge. And even though that like just from like the ranking and such showing them this they should not be. Uh, they look like a junior member of the group. Um, they are wanting to please the fox, but they're also don't seem at all happy that the fox is there. So they are trying to keep an air of everything is fine, and they're doing a poor job of it.
Hmm. So I will, uh, I will say to Kota, what's this in the chat? Okay, I'll say to Kota, well, it's strange that they are here. They're not local to this area, and everybody else here is. I also think I recognize an old family friend.
Do you need me to make a distraction so that you can gather more information or do something else?
Perhaps. But I don't think all is as it seems here.
I see. Things rarely are in such places. Much subterfuge. Look over at Shinkazu. Tell me, do you have any rice wine remaining?
I'm not as fond of it as you are. Ergo, I do not drink as much. Yes, I have rice
need
wine.
a little bit to spill on my robe.
I recall you got very annoyed with me when I did that last time.
Yes, but this time, if I'm going to make a distraction, it behooves us if I seem to be a drunken priest. I will buy both of you an opportunity to do whatever you need to.
Koto-sama, this is the resident of a lord. This is his holding. This is the seat of his power. We cannot afford to lose face here.
Of course. And I am a priest, a jolly priest. And if I happen to stumble into their table offering blessings and cause a bit of a distraction, well, who's to say that I see what either of you are doing behind me?
The butter is blessed with wisdom. I can only hope that someone's rubbed off on you. And I'll hand in my flask.
Rub my belly, and wealth will rub off on you.
I have wealth enough.
And I splash a little bit of rice wine around. Tell me, Shinkazu, am I sufficiently perfumed?
The foul stench has faded somewhat.
I will take that as a yes. Thank you. A moment. Give me a moment, and then do as either of you need to. I will push my chair back and pretend to stumble a bit on getting up. And I will yell, "Blessings, blessings, 1,000 blessings upon you all." And I start stumbling from table to table, offering blessings upon blessings upon blessings. And I will wander over to the Shinjo clan's table and knock into it a little bit too hard. And I'm sure that some food and some cups will fall to the floor and probably spill some on people sitting at that table.
Yeah, the samurai there do not seem happy at all. The Fox has got like just a steady like the kind of gaze of the junior member. Will probably wait for someone else to give, but just sort of kind of looks you up and down. One of them sort of like, watch yourself, oaf.
Blessings, blessings. I am a priest. I travel, and I offer blessings to you all. Tell me, who here needs to be blessed?
Sort of looks around and is like, none of us need a blessing.
Everyone needs blessings. Who cannot stand? Who else could not need the favor of the Buddha?
At which point, the Fox just sort of looks at you and goes, drunk a lot quickly, it seems.
When one does not drink, one does not need much.
And you kind of see that he's looking in your eyes on this, is basically trying to get like a read on you, like to see if it's something that a little suspicious that you've jumped into them, but hasn't read you yet. Just goes, Most of us here are on business for our various lords. We need that time to discuss.
Did not have time to discuss what? Blessings? The Buddha?
And they all kind of look. There's a thing where they're not quite sure whether whether it's keeping the social niceties. So this sounds like possibly an overcome just to sort of get them to. You're looking to keep their attention.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Considering that my unique move is Buddhism, and rolling up to 6 is enough to invoke a weak aspect of Buddhism, which is enough to convince people I'm a priest.
That would work.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Buddhism is, and we start off with 1 support point, correct?
Oh yeah, everyone at this point. If you had any, all setback goes away. There should be 0 story points, 1 support, and if you had any impairments, those should all go away.
Okay. Give me 2 moments here. I had to reload roll 20 because it wasn't showing up. All righty, here we go. That is an 8.
Right,
so that gets me up to 9. So more than enough to convince them that I'm a priest.
Okay. Yeah, there's just a moment where they're all kind of like starting to grumble, and then the fox just sort of looks and goes, "I am Kita."
Keaton?
Kita.
Kita.
If you wish to do a quick blessing, but we are deep right now in a conversation.
Of course, of course. And I humbly bow my head. And I proceed to lecture at length on the 4 noble truths on the Eightfold Path, and to explain how they can become one with the Buddha, how they can attain right mind through right action.
All right. So while this is
go ahead.
I'll say while this is happening, what are Akane and Shinkazu doing?
So before this, did I get any impression that the fox had recognized me at all?
Nope. Fox actually didn't see you last night at all, and did not seem to pay you any attention. Because I scan the crowd as new people come in. You did not notice any little bit of attention. You're positive that you've not been made.
Okay, so I'll just be I'll sort of fade into the background and try and find some. And I'm looking for any like signs of other ninja, or like maybe like just anything that's out of the ordinary.
Oh, actually, we'll take this from before because you probably would have then checked it with your previous roll. You were pretty positive this is the only ninja here in this.
Okay.
There's no, but everyone else just seems like kind of oblivious in a way that you are not. Like you and yours are not really allowed to be. You could pretend some stuff, but nothing struck out as you as being another one of yours.
All right. So I just want to maybe slip away and see what's going on elsewhere. What the issue is with the Lord right now.
Okay.
I think I've sat down and I've opened my pack, and you know the I can't remember what they're called. The over tunics with the large shoulders that samurai wear with their clan
Mhm.
symbols on. I've gone into my pack and I've taken mine out and actually put it on. So it's quite prominently displayed before walking over to Dakota.
Okay.
Pre-summer. Do not bother the samurai. They are busy.
But I'm not bothering them. Kita here said that they could use a blessing.
They could use all the blessings the Buddha can give, but I fear their path. I fear their time will not be one filled with blessings.
Kita stands, and the other ones, like you just see like the other ones go real silent as you don't come up with the thing. And Kita's like, so I see you're friends with a fallen house. You wear a dead man's crest.
Loyalty doesn't die.
Good samurai do.
So do poor ones.
There's a point and goes, well, since two of you know each other, you will take your friend here, have them leave us alone, and take your friend here and have him leave us alone. And probably the best thing that you can do, and the voice is picked up a little bit, while others sort of like turn and look. Best thing you can do, remove yourself from this company. Ronin are not welcome here.
Your blessings.
Come, Kota-sama. They have blessings enough.
So it sounds like part of what you're
Customary for a tip.
I'll say, Shinkazu, it looks like you're trying to basically like kind of ignore the situation so you can take off.
I am, but I'm throwing insults. I'm throwing insults at them, but in a polite way.
Yeah. So part of it, I would go ahead and make a roll, and this would be righteousness, maybe. Probably just to see like if you get set back from it. Like this is your reaction um, to their sort of vocal attack, among others.
And that is an 8.
All right. Yeah, so we'll go there. So I don't really see necessarily deflecting the problem, but with a hard bargain right now would be probably a little early for the hard bargain. So I'll say just take one setback point,
Okay.
and then if you just want to make a setback roll.
Okay. 1 second. I'm still learning where everything is on this table.
And setback will be below the.
Yeah, I just realized I need to scroll over. Okay. So I have my quirk, which allows me to roll 3 dice, but to take -3 in addition.
Okay.
So that's -4. That's a 6.
Weak suffering. Impair one of your attributes. If you have more than 3, drop the total down to 3. More than 3 setback.
Okay.
Yeah. Others have noticed.
But in addition, I actually have a special move, which is Kimwami, which I make after doing a setback move.
Mm-hmm. What's that one do?
On a 9, I take a +1 forward on a roll of your choice or until you roll an event, in which case add 1 back to the event roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, they notice.
Yeah, from the awkward, embarrassed, upset, or exhausted.
I think it's awkward. I think there's a very visible tension here that I don't like these people, and although I'm being polite, it's very clear that I'm threatening them.
Okay. All right. Back to Akane. Where are you headed in the castle?
I was just gonna maybe follow the person that spoke to the fox and try and see what's going on.
Okay. As he heads back out, if you want to make your ninjutsu roll
Is it ninjutsu or stalking?
or stalking rather, I'm sorry. Forgot that was your.
Okay, 1. That's a 5.
And what's that do on?
Enough. Up to 6. Get a weak clue about a person of interest. Follow a weak target without being seen, or flee, break off from following a strong target without being discovered.
All right. Well, this one is a weak target. This is essentially their sort of um, like a Aaron. He runs back and forth to kind of grab stuff. You see him go back to um, there's a set of rooms, and these rooms have got like a. There's two people outside, two samurai outside that are talking, but you kind of notice um, these samurai are actually guarding that door. And for one of these samurai have the Shinja crest on. For samurai to be guarding the door of a room in the castle of another lord is to tell that other lord that they don't believe that theirs is enough. So when you see them kind of go in, the two of them are outside. It would be hard to kind of get past them um, without them seeing you. But as he goes in, you see the two of them tense up a little bit as he comes forward, sees who it is, and then relax. And they are trying to appear in conversation, but they are there to make sure no one else goes in that room.
Is there a way I could maybe try and sneak in there, see what's going on? Like, not through the front door, obviously, but.
Yeah, on that one, the if you want to make an overcome.
Overcome righteousness. Four.
Okay. Yeah, because at this point you've kind of gotten as far as you're going to get through there. Now you're trying to find um, some other ways through it. You kind of a weak compromise there. You're not going to be able to get in through in through the room, but you are able to get into a room like next door to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up kind of like ducking into the room next to it. As you come in and you're seeing a different lord. Like there's some of the stuff here. It's one of the other lords. Apparently, they're having most of the people here stay several people to a single room. And there's like traveling packs and other stuff lying about.
Can I hear anything from the next room?
Yeah, as you sort of listen on the next room, and the voice you hear through it is the one that you saw. Just I spoke to Kita. He did not seem happy when they told him there. We're gonna have to wait until Tetsuharu's back. As far as I'm aware, gambling or something. And the other voice speaking back is a little too low to hear. Gambling or something. Apparently, he goes up into the city, or goes out into the towns, and he and his bodyguard will take off. But if they're not here when this happens, none of this is going to work. All right. We'll see about getting people to find out. And then a moment
Sorry,
later.
cut out for a second there.
Yeah, occasionally goes into town, and then if he's not here, we're not going to be able to do this. All right, we'll see if we can have people keep a discreet eye out. This evening, perhaps Kita can check and see using their specific set of skills. And then a moment later, you hear the door open, and it sounds like he leaves.
I'm gonna. Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna make my way back to.
All right. Everyone, go ahead and take a story point for the intro. And about the time you come back, you actually, that's when Kanasuku is making his way back to see you. And will look like you probably come when talking to, because Shinkazu and Koda, where did you go after you left the Shinju clan, or Shinju clan?
Well, we haven't got rooms yet, so I think we just went over to one of the one of the tables in the far side of the room, as far away from them as we could get.
Yeah, Kanasuku kind of comes in, just sees how far you are, just like, and makes his way over. At any point, Akane, if you want to show up while this is happening, that will be when you kind of get back, and then just walks over and goes like, I have accommodations for you. You will not, unfortunately, be able to speak with Lord Tetsuharu until the morning, as you'll see there's many people here right now wanting his attention. But we have cleared out a room for the three of you to stay tonight, and we can get baths and other such amenities prepared for you.
My good Kanasuku, blessings upon you for this.
How much have you drank already?
Not nearly enough, my dears Kanasuku.
You do not need to worry about your lord. He will not be drunk homeless by our good friend priest here.
This is a very large house.
Yes, and I have seen how much you like your wine.
That is true. He might merely be stableless.
Well, it's unseemly. Make sure you do not be drunk when you go before the Lord tomorrow morning.
You have many visitors coming through.
There's a celebration in Edo coming up, and Lord Tetsuharu happens to be in a good location for many to meet here before traveling. This is the last stop for most of them before they make the final stretch to Edo itself. Does not do too good to come too early.
Well, it is a good job we cleared those bandits from the road then.
Sure, they would have been fine.
Woe betide the dishonor that would have come had they embarrassed your lord by attacking the caravans.
Just get a little quiet in there, because, again, something we are grateful for.
You are welcome. It was an honor to do this. Equally, would you sit and share a drink with us?
No, I have things to do. I will show you to your room.
We understand. Your duties take you elsewhere.
Where is your farmer at?
He is a farmer. We do not.
Chamber pots, I presume.
I think when he asks that, I just appear like off to the side.
Like the other shoulder when he's looking this way. Yeah, it just sort of looks us out. You'll come with us. We can get you better attired, cleaned up, and the room that you'll be in.
Again, Minister, we thank you for this. You show us a great honor in doing this.
Our pleasure. You have done very well by Lord Tetsuharu, your honored guests.
Thank you. Now, let us go.
All right. And on the way there, as he's kind of walking, he goes, I can't help but notice you wear the crest. Are you still wearing the crest?
Definitely, yes.
Can't help you notice you wearing the crest of the family which no longer exists.
That is not true. You say the family does not exist, yet here I stand. Surely those statements are in conflict.
I'm supposing you noticed that the Shinja family is here.
Indeed.
Their delegation, seeing such a crest here, one of their enemy who they were wiped out, coming back. All you're going to do.
My apologies, Minister Sama, but that statement is incorrect.
We'll pop out of character real quick. You said was the family killed?
Oh no, the family was wiped out, but
Okay, yeah.
Yukazu's still around.
Oh yeah, so I just want to make sure. Yeah, he just sort of stops and just turns and looks at you, and goes, "You may hold loyalty strong inside of you, and that is good. But to mistake yourself, a samurai, now a ronin, as a member of the actual house itself, that goes beyond your station."
My lord has entrusted me with a mission, one I intend to follow through on.
You intend to follow through on that mission here.
I have no intention to cause trouble for your lord, and revenge was not the mission.
He looks at the priest and then over at Akane and goes, and then just sort of looks over at Akane, like after like smells Coda a little bit because you still got the rice wine you spilled on you. Looks over at Akane and goes, "If there's any hope you're able to keep them in line, please make sure that."
Do not talk to the peasant, talk to me. That is very...
I am one of the, because I'm one of the ministers of Lord Tetsuharu. You come here in the place where I live, the place where I work under the Lord who's providing shelter for you now, and tell me what I may or may not talk to?
You have had my word. You're disputing it?
That sounds like an overcome.
Yep, that definitely does sound like overcome. Oh dear, this is all going to go terribly wrong. That's an 11.
Okay, you see that he's just about to like bark something back at you, just sort of looking over at you, and like you can see him weighing it in his head. He just goes, "Being as you have shown great loyalty to your lord, I will trust your honor as a samurai."
I will reach for my daikatana.
You see him literally like he like flinches back just a little bit, though he's trying not to.
I will reach for my obi. I'll pull out a piece of cord, and I will tie the daikatana into the scabbard.
Yeah, and like the breath of relief that comes out, he's trying to hide it, but it's not a great job. I'll show you the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, the room you've gone into, like there currently are some servants in there, like making up the bed and stuff. You just kind of get the feeling someone had to vacate it relatively quickly. Because here's the room. They will be able to show you where you can where the bathhouse is. We'll also have clothes and such brought to you.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for me?
Merely blessings, 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 1,000 blessings.
And you just kind of, all right. And he goes, "I will leave you in Yika's hands," and sort of turns one of the servants, and she looks and goes, "Is there anything that you need?"
I will look to Kota and look to Akane.
Rice wine, please.
All right.
Kota-sama, may I have a word?
Of course. And I'll kind of stumble into you a little bit just to play it up.
And the servants at this point will probably leave if nobody, because yeah, they'll go to get stuff for you.
Once they're out of the room,
Please,
did you get what you needed?
No, there is not blood on the floor.
I'm not sure whether that is good or bad. For you, I suspect it's bad. For us,
My-
I suspect it's good.
My lord did not task me with revenge, but it is still a duty of the samurai, is it not?
You are not incorrect.
The night is young.
Hmm. The night is young. True. But I do not wish to bring any dishonor on this house. And I'll look back to the door where the Konosuke left. Kanisuke, sorry. No more than it brings on itself.
So,
That
bats?
was a very heavy sigh. You are concerned that I will start something.
No, you've given your word. I
I'm
am merely
concerned that the
concerned
Shinja will start something.
And that was my concern as well.
What have you learned?
They have posted guards on a room. I did not see who is inside the room, but they discussed preparations for something that is to happen today. That they require the Lord to be here for.
They are renowned for their trickery. If people did not fear them such, they would be dishonored in polite company. None of those emissaries seem to be leaving to head to the castle or preparing themselves to meet the Lord. I wonder why that is.
What interests me is that the Shinja seem to be taking. They seem to be following the lead of someone who is not one of their own.
I should be not surprised that they are mercenaries. Although I can hardly complain about that these days. And I think there's going to be a very heavy moment and a sigh from him.
Akane, do you think they mean Lord Tetsuharu harm?
Cannot be sure, but everything I have seen gives me unpleasant feeling.
What have they said?
I'll just I'll tell them what I overheard. Exactly. So
Then they need him here to either see something or be away from something.
hmm.
The Lord is out gambling.
Yes.
If only our friend was here, he would surely be able to find the den that holds him.
I wonder if I might be of assistance.
Please, go on.
I may not be a gambler, but I do know where people go to sin.
Should we pay a visit? And I'll turn and look to Akane.
I think we should. But it also would behoove us to keep an eye on what the Shinjo clan is doing here.
I will remain here and keep an eye on things. One thing in particular.
It is curious that the fox among all of the clan was the only one who showed any interest in the teachings of the Buddha.
Not that interesting. They're uncivilized. They're little more than barbarians themselves.
Then why did the fox allow blessings? Either there is one among them who wishes to keep up appearance, or perhaps it is the case that the fox is not. How shall I put this? Perhaps this fox is not as of a similarly low character. Either way, they bear. It bears attention. It merits observation. Perhaps they can be turned. Perhaps they are either the leader or someone who does not wish to participate in whatever the clan is doing. This is why it is interesting.
I feel uneasy with so many Shinja retainers around.
Understandable. But by getting you away from them, perhaps it'll free Akane up to have a look, to listen, perhaps to talk.
Do you feel safe in doing this, Akane-san?
Nothing worthwhile is without risk.
Indeed. But before we depart, Kota, will you help me clear my mind?
Of course. What do you need?
I need to be centered on the now. I find the temporal intruding in my thoughts.
Ah, I see. You seek Zen.
I seek Zen. Or more appropriately, I seek to control myself so that I do not escalate this unnecessarily.
You know, I'm reminded of a story. I forget whether it was Tende or a student of Tende who came to ask, after years of study, how it is that grass or trees can become enlightened. And the response was, do not be concerned with how grass or trees can become enlightened. Concern yourself with how you can become enlightened. In this case, perhaps you do need to concern yourself with the grass and the trees. Be like grass in the wind. Does grass notice wind, or does it merely bend with it?
The grass holds where it is.
And it stays rooted.
The wind yields, just as the grass does. I understand.
And like you, grass is a blade.
Tonight will not be easy.
Oh, tonight will be very easy. All we have to do is find Lord Tetsuharu.
You make it sound like the simplest thing.
Well, from one way of thinking, he cannot help but be wherever we are. From another, every place he is, we are not.
I admire the binary in that. Let me compose myself and then we can go on our way.
Of course. Now about that rice wine.
Help yourself. And while Kota drinks, I'm going to spend about 20 minutes or so in meditation, just trying to calm myself down and center my thoughts.
Okay. All right, so you want to skip ahead? I guess. Where are people? Where are we all headed to? We got like.
Well, I was wondering
from the fortress.
I was wondering whether Kota wanted to roll his Buddhism to
I can.
try and clear my
Impairment?
Yeah.
Okay. So Buddhism plus support. I have 1 support. That is a 9. Up to 9 allows me to invoke to take 5 minutes and spend 1 support to remove 1 impairment from a friend. So you only have 1, correct?
Yes, I only have 1, so I think we'll leave it at this point in time.
Okay, and I will go ahead and spend that support.
Okay, I wasn't trying to force you to spend the support. Like I say, I can leave it in if you want and just have his mind be elsewhere.
I thought that's actually what you were going for. So.
Oh, I was. It's just I didn't realize you had to spend support to do it.
It's support. That's what it's there for.
That's fine. Thank you. So yeah, we're heading off looking for the Lord. And Akane, what do you
Ninja clan are doing, particularly what was it? Kida?
I froze up for a second, so I missed what you said.
I'm keeping an eye on what the Shinja clan are doing, particularly Kita.
Okay. Yeah. So then this is in that evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go ahead if you want to make your stalking roll. Stalking. Hey, go around.
It's 13.
Damn.
So on a 10 or more on stalking, get a grand clue about a person of interest or follow a target without being seen.
Okay. You actually at one point, Kita, as they go back to sort of the room, kind of dismisses some people, and you see that there's also a guard inside. They kind of leave, and there's actually, you do notice that there's a space you can get like a little bit like into the rafters to kind of like be up above in a place that's sort of decently well hidden. But as you look down, Kita kind of like unrolls, it's like a small thing of like ninja tools. It pulls it out and takes this small kind of vial, and then removes what is a very, very small, it's a very, very small needle that can often be like threaded into like what sometimes it's used for if you can get to someone in time, and especially if you know they're going to be handling it within a certain amount of time. They can thread a very small needle into the wrapping of a sword. So someone grabs it and they get stuck with the poison. And there's a variety of them, but usually in this case you're looking for often a lethal one. But goes and sort of checks that, makes sure all that's sort of good to go. Takes it in like a small like stoppered vial, places it in a pocket, and then also pulls out. There's like a list, and as you sort of like look down on the list, just kind of going through and checking off a number of them. What you can see is looks to be a number of the, not just Tetsuhara, but a number of other uh, signatories on it that are on there, and what it seems to be is a essentially information about like a pact about what looks like, just from the little bits you can kind of scan from it, like a rebellion. And
So
then,
all the people on this list are part of a rebellion.
when you look through the list, quite a few of them you're fairly sure from. I mean, just from the stuff that your clan had worked for. Um, Several loyalists on there. There's a few like well-known, like ones that are disloyal to the shogun, but there's a couple others you can kind of take a look at. You're fairly sure are loyalists. When it rolls that up and places it within a pocket, then also grabs like uh, the mask and like a couple of climbing spikes, and doesn't put the mask on immediately, but just kind of like secretes those around his person so that he'll be able to hide himself a little bit later. At which point, he kind of grabs his stuff and then leaves the room.
All right. We'll just continue keeping an eye out for stuff.
Okay. And we'll pop back to you in just a moment. What's going on in town?
Shinkazu, when we find the Lord, it is likely that he'll be incognito. We must not let on that we know who he is. We must treat him as we would treat anyone else.
I dislike subterfuge.
Don't think of it as subterfuge. Think of it as allowing the Lord his little joke. Think of it as allowing the Lord some time where he does not have to be the Lord.
You saw how the villagers reacted to him back in the murder we just left.
And
I have concerns about the character of this lord.
Shinkazu,
His peasants do not love him. They are afraid of him.
I have concerns about the character of most lords. The ones that do not concern me are the ones who walk freely among their people and sit with them and drink with them. If they wish to go among them as if they are of the people and are able to do so, it speaks volumes about who they are.
So you believe he is being misled by Kanasuko?
At this point, I believe nothing. I know only what I see. I have not seen the Lord yet.
I will play along, if only to save his face.
And allow him his evening out. Everyone deserves one, do they not?
A lord who gambles with his own peasants, his own merchants. He runs the risk of taking something from them.
That's true. But he also risks leaving something with them.
I will maintain the subterfuge. But
The word fun isn't in your vocabulary, is it, Shinkazu?
fun died a long time ago.
Well, at least it lived once. Let it live again. That is one thing that you could stand to have reincarnated.
There is time enough for fun in the next life.
If we live well enough in this one, we don't have a next one, Shinkazu. And I'll playfully elbow you.
If we die well enough in this one, we are assured of it.
We're on the same page. This is why we must have fun now. Who better than a priest to instruct you in these ways?
A pretty geisha.
That veers awfully close to sinning. You would need a priest after that.
I said a geisha. I did not say anything else. Song and companionship will be enough for me.
We must work on your sense of humor. Buddha likes those who laugh.
My heart is full of tears. Let us go.
Mine is full of rice wine.
As is yours.
Let us go.
And he is going to actually laugh at that.
So you're trying to seek to find if Lord Tsuharu is somewhere in the town.
I'm
In the
looking for
city?
the seediest bar.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say go ahead. One of you make like a no lore, just to sort of know the places you might go for some of these sort of things like this.
All right. And is that with schooling?
Yeah.
Okay. That's an 11.
All right. Yeah, you actually you kind of find like there's like a seedy bar. As you sort of look around the seediest one you sort of go into, you just get the idea that's not sort of the place. But I will say, as you go a little further on, you do see there's a place where again you have a few samurai in Lord Setsuhara's with his crest outside, like across the street, sort of speaking in a bar. When you sort of look in, you see a few other samurai in there, like sipping some sake, while other people are sort of talking.
Is there anyone
If you have
gambling?
questions, you can. Looks like not here, but you've definitely seen bars like this before. There are ways that there are back rooms that are meant to be like escaped from quickly if necessary. And I'll say part of your schooling is you're aware of there's like a sign, it's an old kind of little sign for gamblers, like a mark that sort of lets them know that there is a secret room in this that has been worked into it. This was probably at some point an illicit casino.
Awesome. I'm just going to start staggering toward that bar, shouting, "Blessings, blessings, 1,000 blessings of the Buddha."
And then Shikazu, are you just following behind, looking all serious?
I'm following behind and I'm trying to smile.
Okay. As people sort of look, the samurai at the bar kind of like look you up and down a bit more, and you're still wearing the.
Yeah, I'm still wearing the Fujiyama
There's
crest.
this moment where they just kind of look a little bit kind of confused as you come in. Barkeep kind of looks and goes, Anything for you, priest? Samurai?
For me, I wonder if you would happen to have such a thing as rice wine, perhaps heated.
Of course. And for you, Samurai?
Rice wine will be fine.
And nods and goes. At which point you hear like a door open behind, and it's got this like someone very drunk. Because you're like, no, no. I'm like, no, I'm afraid. I promised I'd be back home. Besides, you've taken all my money, and they're like, oh, come on, join us. And he just sort of stumbles out of this back room, and you hear them laughing, and they're like, well, send someone else with money in.
I perk up at this. Money? And I lean over and whisper conspiratorially to the barkeep. Is there perhaps gaming back there?
He just sort
And I
of says,
put my coin purse on the bar.
yeah, you see one of them kind of pokes his head out and goes, all right, more wine all around. Or another guy kind of comes up. You put the kind of coin purse in the bar, he looks over and goes, dropping your money, priest?
My friend. Sorry, go on.
Hmm?
Sorry, go on, Kota.
Oh,
I understand that there is both wine and perhaps other entertainment available. I merely brought this out to pay for the wine, but if there's other entertainment, I might be persuaded to leave this out.
Do not listen to my friend. He is very drunk and very free with his coin when he is.
Does your friend play mahjong?
Do I play mahjong? What a question to ask of a priest.
He looks and goes, we're down a friend today. If your friend is free with his coin, if you both want to come back, we could use another person or two.
Kota, are you sure you wish to do this? You play, but you're not very good.
You should ask them if they're willing to lose coin to a priest.
It is not them losing coin that I am worried about.
I'm a priest. Money comes, money goes.
Yes, but food does not.
This is why there's rice wine.
You
We have
cannot
been
eat
over
rice
this.
wine.
No, you drink it though. And then you are not hungry.
No, you are drunk.
Yes,
Do you really wish
that is true.
Do you really wish to gamble while you were in your cup?
I thought that was the best time to gamble.
It is for your opponent, certainly.
Which point sort of turns and goes, I think we found two.
This is a friendly game, is it not?
Very friendly.
You see, it's a friendly game, Shinkazu. We have nothing to worry about.
Well, just remember what happened the last time you had a friendly game.
I don't remember that.
Exactly.
Had I had much rice wine?
Yeah, they got the rice wine. As you head in the back, there are mostly dogs in there. There's a samurai who's a goat who is standing behind, or basically like sitting on a chair, sort of behind. The one who goes, don't worry about him. He's in security. As they sort of sit, and
Insecurity? He should have confidence in himself.
He did not say insecurity. He said insecurity. He is security for the inn. How many have you had, Kota-sama?
That makes much more sense.
basically the group there just sort of look at each other and laugh and go, "Deal you in?"
Please, by all means.
Akane. At one point, as you're kind of going through the halls, keeping an eye on them, is you go past where your room is, and the door is shutting as you're walking by.
Can I go back into the rafters and check and see who's in my room from there?
Yeah, make a stalking roll.
Okay. That's a 10. So that is a grand clue about a person of interest or follow a target without being seen.
Yeah, you kind of managed to sort of pop up there. You're looking, and actually underneath, like basically in the closet, kind of in the back, it's been opened up, and you see the ninja is like in like outfit with the mask and such, is knelt in there and is reaching like back and pulls up some stuff in the floorboards and is reaching underneath the floorboards of the room.
I'm just gonna wait and see what he pulls out.
Okay. You see as it kind of reaches in and pulls out a like a ninja toe, like those smaller swords, some shuriken, other stuff, and like gets up deposits. Which point you notice this is not Kita. This is a cat, and as she sort of turns, you can see her eyes. This is Teruko Ogata. This is a member of your own clan. And you were leaving to get revenge.
Yeah.
You have a personal mission. She's pulling some stuff out from the floorboards that was hidden there.
I'm gonna try and see where they go after that.
Okay. So as she actually like then kind of looks out, like kind of like opens the window and sort of looks out on the courtyard underneath, sees when there are a whole lot of people there, and then just like it's down, and then makes her way sort of down the wall and across the courtyard.
I'm gonna follow them.
All right. So you kind of see her. I'm making another stalking roll here in a moment. You see her going towards Tetsuhara's quarters.
Tetsuharu's not back yet. Is
Correct.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get in above again.
All right, make another stalking roll, and then let's pop back to the game. All right, hand or two in, and one of them. It doesn't take it long to figure out that one of them they have another name for him, but it's very clear that the others are giving more kind of respect to the one that has the samurai sort of sitting behind. Like the samurai sat up a bit when you came in, Shinkazu, but they're all speaking as if they are close personal friends. Like a lot of laughter, a lot of other stuff, like a lot of laughter going on while they're here.
Let us see what the Buddha plans for me today. I'll take my tiles over. I'll look at them. Seems I have no better luck than I had on the road.
Yeah, and takes them. I use Mahjong just because when I was looking up oh, by the way, this the official Usagi Yojimbo timeline kind of starts at 1600, like the very first fanographics thing where Usagi loses his master is literally in 1600. So I was like, what was the gambling games there? They mentioned Mahjong, so I just know there's the tiles. I mostly just know the version on Windows where you're moving it left or right, like match tiles. So I know it's not like that, but I get kind of like clicking things in.
So, have any others had this difficult travel to get here tonight? There seem to be plenty of bandits on the road.
And one looks up and goes, "Bandits, I heard those were taken care of. Most people here are local. Most of us here are local."
And here I thought you were insulting me, Shinkazu. You ask if they've had a difficult time getting here. You came here with me. We
Yes,
encountered no difficulties.
You do not class your singing as a difficulty?
My singing is a delight to the ears of the Buddha.
I am not the Buddha.
You should become more Buddha-like.
I have not had enough wine for that tonight.
Yes, and also you do not have enough of a smile for that.
Let us see how this game goes, and then I will see whether there is something to smile about.
So I'm curious, with Mahjong, does knowing how to play it fall under schooling because of life experience?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I have a weird feeling that Coda is something of a Mahjong shark. So what brings you gentlemen here this evening?
Here to play. Good excuse to get friends back together and have a drink, catch up.
And separate fools from their money?
And the one who you're now, I'm sure, positive is Lord Tetsuharu, just sort of smiles and goes, "I think we probably spreaded the money around more than actually take it, but if a
Tell
fool's
me,
willing to part with it,
do you like jokes?
love jokes."
Oh,
Knock,
here
knock.
we go.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Boo.
This is good. Oh,
I did warn you.
so
I've had to put up with this for far too long. I think I need more rice wine.
what brings a priest and a samurai in the Fujiyama here?
I wander. I look for people who need blessings. I perform marriages. I perform more unfortunate duties as well, caring for the dead. And this one, who seems persistent on finding death, I follow him to make sure that he does not die alone and that he has someone to speak blessings over his corpse.
Kota, can you please not discuss my dishonor in front of other people?
So I wasn't speaking about that. I was speaking about your daily existence.
Your dishonor?
I am the last of my clan.
He takes a look and goes, "But you still wear your lord's crest. Loyalty runs deep."
Loyalty is all a samurai should know. I would not disgrace him. He has gone forward. He has no doubt waited at Buddha's feet, and he has now been reborn. Eventually I will join him, but not lightly. I have not yet found the match for my blade.
Sort of looks at it, just kind of going, goes, "What is your if you still wear the crest, it means you're still under orders."
Indeed. My lord, my lord did not believe in ordering people to their death for no good reason. There still is work to do in this land. There's still honor to bring to his name. As I say, I have not yet found one the match for my sword.
And the bodyguard behind the goat just sort of kind of like cocks an eye a bit, and which point that Tetsuhara just kind of like laughs a little bit and goes, "Well, here we're having a friendly, fun game." I believe it says a lot about your character that you still wear, and do what you can to bring honor to the family that you served.
Indeed. Thus the bandits I spoke of.
Can you believe
The
that
samurai
this
speaks
one?
up. Oh, sorry. Go.
Can you believe this one took on 12 bandits by himself?
There were not 12. I do not think there were 12 bandits, Kota. I lost count. Surely 12 is too high.
I may have been seeing double, but I counted 12.
All that matters is we returned Lord Terakumo's sword. It will make its way to Edo.
Which they both kind of stop, and you see the goat sort of like pulls himself up a bit more and goes, "You managed to bring back the sword."
We aided another, one of Lord Tetsuharu's men, a brave retainer, managed to survive the ambush, and we helped him retrieve the sword.
Mara, his woman was not quite as skilled with sutures and bandages as she could have been, but we remedied that.
Things get a little bit more serious, at which point Itsuhara kind of looks at the others and goes, "My friends, I apologize. I'm called away." And they all kind of take their money touch and they start to go. Um, and he looks up and he goes, "You have returned the sword to me."
Oh no, friend! I have returned the sword for Lord Tetsuhara. We shall present it back to him tomorrow, so it may be sent on to the Shogun.
"We should go see Lord Tetsuhara." And he kind of nods over at the at his bodyguard, who nods and sort of stands up, kind of gives like you a little bit of an eye. And goes, "Six bandits is not inconsiderable."
Well, I did not bury the bodies. There may have been more, but I lost count at 6.
All right. He goes, "Would you accompany us back to the fortress?"
Certainly. Is it too much to ask that we walk a bit slowly? I find myself with what appears to be 3 feet now.
Not a problem. And they start making their way out and then down the streets. Akane.
Yeah, so I rolled an 8,
Mhm.
which is get a strong clue about a person of interest or follow a strong target without being seen.
Okay, you manage to kind of follow her without being seen, and she also kind of like leaps up like above like some rafters and such, and uses those before dropping down, and goes into the room. You see her; she goes in. She opens up the door to it and like kind of sneaks in, but just as it's about to close, you see something has grabbed her, and her feet actually leave the ground, and you see it starting to kick. While there is like the door is not completely shut, you are in a position though where the guards aren't going to see, depending on what you do.
The guards will see, or
Will not see. You are past them.
Okay. So something has grabbed her.
Yeah, it's like she comes in, and then like there's like a jerk, and then you see her feet come up off the ground, and it looks
All
like
right.
they're scrambling for purchase.
I am gonna go in and pull her back. What was her name again? Just
Oh, that was Taruko Ogata.
Taroku or
Truko. Taruko.
Ogawa.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm just gonna put it in the chat here so I remember. Yeah, so I'm gonna leap down and just try and grab her, pull her back.
Okay, so basically, like from the other side, and pull her back into the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in this case, just go ahead and make a ninjutsu roll. You're not trying to hurt her, but you're just trying to grab her and loose her.
Yeah. So that story, that's still one.
Yeah, that'll do
It's
it.
a 10.
Yeah, you kind of manage, as you manage to grab her, you see kind of up above, you see Kita, and again, also in the ninja outfit and such, has had like a sickle and sickle and chain, and it kind of wrapped that around her throat as she came in. And as you do it, with the 10, it actually like drives him to like from the up above the door to the ground of this fairly large, expansive bedroom. As he hits, kind of comes up into a roll and has got the weapons there. About the same time, on the way, as you pass by part of a street corner, and there's like a staff reaches out and slaps the goat Kiku really hard in the head, and she falls. And suddenly you hear like the scrabble of something on the roof tiles. As you look up and you see that there are a few ninja up above y'all in the street. We're going to be taking a bio break.
Damn you and your cliffhangers.
I believe those are actually rafter hangers, but
It's amazing what you can use a camera for.
what was that, Garwin? I missed that.
It's amazing what you can use a camera for.
Right.
Hmm.
And I'm back.
Actually, the fan graphics Usagi Yojimbo is what we're using in my English class for the graphic novels course. So I used a bunch of stories from that for them this year, and then next year it's going to form like half the class.
They're good stories. They really, yeah. It's written by a Japanese guy, isn't it? Or American Japanese guy, or
I think he was born in Tokyo, if I remember. Then has lived a good chunk of his life in Hawaii. And I don't know if it may not be in this one. It may just be in the Saga editions or the big ones. But does it have a thing where he talks about like the inspiration, the reading about some of the stories?
I've not looked at any of the other things. I've just been reading the stories themselves.
Yeah, in the back of the Saga editions, and also in it was called Legends. I think it was the one all the original Fantagraphics run. He would go through at the end and give like here's essentially a like where he found out about this, like how he got like what research he did because he does a bunch. Have you seen the one about where they make seaweed?
No, I haven't got that far yet. I've just got to the second blind massage story.
Oh yeah.
Where Spot actually saves him.
Oh yeah. Nice. Yeah. Zato?
Hmm.
Blind
Never.
Soul's Pig.
Yes. I didn't realize this, but Zatoichi is actually just a description of him being a beggar in his rank.
What is that? It's for which again? Is that a beggar in his rank?
Zatoichi, the blind swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
Garwin, if you ever want to have a quick laugh, ask Ferret about Gunwolf Zatoichi.
Okay, I'm going to be chatting to him later tonight. I'll have a word with him.
Yeah, he's got a story.
Gunwolf Zatoichi?
It's a story.
It's like a Metal Gear character.
I thought that was God. I can't even remember. It was like Solidus Snake.
There's Solid Snake, but there's also like Revolver Ocelot, and I played the first one, and I tried a couple of the other ones, and then the fifth one I played a chunk of. There's some interesting names.
I mean, Big Boss is a little on the nose, you know.
Subtlety is not that guy's strong point.
The man who came up with the disguise that's literally just a cardboard box over you. I never would have guessed.
Well, I haven't played Death Stranding because it takes walking. It looks like it takes Walking Simulator to another degree, but I was told that one of the characters' names is literally Die Hard, or it's like Die Hard Man. And guess what's true about him?
His name isn't John McClane.
Yeah, no, it's right. It's Die Hardman. So Die Hard Man sounds like a great Mega Man villain. Now I'm gonna fight Die Hard Man.
All right. So, just trying to be fair about this. Are we sure that it isn't just really poorly translated German, like Die Hardman?
Yes, that's just what I was thinking as well.
I mean, it should be Der Hardman if it's that. If it's like really poorly translated German.
Possibly. But apparently, several of the names are a little bit out there, but I have not played it, so I'm just going.
I guess Jeff Keighley is in it as well, so
And was it Conan O'Brien in it very briefly? I read a thing where they brought him in to do like a little bit of motion capture.
If they did, I hope it was just for his hair.
Anyway, right. So you both are in a situation. Both groups here are in a situation. Yeah, on the street, as you look up, there are 3 ninjas sort of come around the corner, and there's 3 more up on the rooftops. And Akane, you are in a
having
room.
such a lovely night.
You're in a room with Kita, who's got his weapons out, and right now Taruko is correct. Taruko is kind of recovering from having like just been nabbed uh, by the chain. She's got to get her breath back, which will take a round or two. What do y'all do?
Stand back, samurai. This is a job for a priest. And I brandish my bow staff at the ninja.
One sort of laughs as looking at both of you, and it's like, if you leave now, you don't have to die.
If you leave now, you don't have to live.
I don't think that works, Kota.
It sounded better in my head than it did coming out of my mouth. You must instruct me more in how to talk like, how to talk as you do, Shinkazu.
In which case, then, I hope you brought friends.
It sounds so easy when you do it.
That way it may even get close to an even fight.
He goes, a priest and a Ronin jumped up as a samurai. This will be easy.
You say that now, but wait until I have lectured you on right action, and you will have another thought.
Kota, it occurs to me we have found an even worse gambler than myself.
Who's that?
Oh, yeah, Kane's got the whole, like, yeah. One ninja could kill you. 15, no problem. All right, yeah, they with their weapons start to make their way towards you. And then for Kane, as he hits the ground, he just sort of looks up and just goes, "You're still dressed as the farmer, right?"
No. For the sneaking about, I would have
Okay.
got into my ninja clothes.
And just goes, what is your clan name for the ninja clan?
I had meant to come up with a clan name.
We can just say there is a clan of cat ninja. If we want, I'm trying to remember.
It's Nekogami, isn't it?
Yeah, Nekogami is the specific one. Is that the name of the clan or the?
It was Neko something, I remember.
Yeah, we'll just say Nekogami for this. Wasn't expecting Nekogami clan here. I'm afraid you're not going to be able to report back. And what do you?
Fine. I have no intention to.
Right, what do you do?
I'm going to. You said he had the chain with the hook on it.
Yeah, the chain and the little sickle.
Is he withdrawn it?
And he had it out. So when you pulled her out, you actually pulled him down off of the perch that he was on. So he's kind of hit the ground. He's holding the chain and the ring for it in one hand and the sickle in the other.
All right. So I want to basically grab the chain and drag him, basically pull him off balance off his feet.
All right. Make your ninjutsu roll.
All right. We're still at one story point right now, aren't we?
Yep.
Okay. That's a 9.
And what's 9 do for you?
For ninjutsu, it's a score a weak hit.
Okay. Yeah. So as that hits, he's one with a front right now. So he can take some multiple. As you grab it, and you sort of pull up this way. So as he does so, as you got it, he actually lets the chain go for a moment, tries to grab it, and then use it to bury the sickle in you. What do you do as he tries to use the momentum from there to take you out?
I want to basically take one of my shuriken and stab him in the eye with it.
Yeah, so a counterattack. So you're doing a counterattack if you want to make your roll, and then we'll pop over to the other group.
I should say maybe not so much stab with the eye because we have lines and veils, and I think no gore was
Eye
one of them.
injuries is actually a
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So just stabbing him with the shuriken.
So did that go through? Yeah, I got 11.
All right. So with the 11, that's a strong hit for you.
I think so. I just need to. Yes, up to 12 is a strong hit. Or if you're using a ninjutsu weapon, you may use one of its specials.
What is the special for the shuriken?
The special is backstab or retreat.
Okay, so you have so you have a strong hit on him.
Mm-hmm.
He actually does not manage to catch you on this one, but you do manage to get like a fairly solid strike against him. Do you use that moment to retreat, or?
I don't want to. I guess I won't retreat because then I'd be leaving.
Okay.
Or I could just melt into the shadows and still be in the room, sort of thing.
Okay.
You take him with you.
Yeah. Can I do that?
Yeah. You want to disengage and then flee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This sounds like a perfect opportunity for a rooftop chase.
All right, and then back to the streets. As you kind of scramble back, and she's able to, as you kind of grab her up, she's able to get her feet underneath her and start to run. And then back on the streets.
Shinkazu, why are there always ninja everywhere we go? Do you bring them with you?
It's the rice wine. They can smell it, and like dogs, they are drawn to meat.
Well, don't die here, because this would be a dog's death. And no offense intended.
I have no intention of dying here. Maybe intention of killing just a few. I'll step forward. And my daikatana is still in its sheath and it's tied in.
Mm-hmm.
So as they come in, I'm going to be parrying and basically smacking them with the sheathed nodachi. So poking them in the stomach as they bend over, whipping it up so the tip smacks them in the nose. And
all right, make your attack roll.
And that is a 7.
What does that do for you?
On a 7, that is me trying to find the character sheet. That is score a weak hit.
Okay, so against they're sort of strong foes. As you come in, they're actually you manage to kind of keep them, sort of drive them back a little bit as they're going, but you're not getting good purchase on it.
In which case, then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a story point to up that to a 10.
Okay. Which gives you a strong hit?
Which gives me a strong hit, or as I'm using a Bushido weapon, I'm going to be using my grand Nodachi smash.
Okay.
And put that up to a grand hit.
All right, yeah, so tell me how you take out 2 of them.
They come in and literally as one of them comes in, I stab him in the stomach with the sheathed Nodachi.
Mm-hmm.
He bends over. I whip it up. He comes back, hands to his face, where I smacked him in the face. And I turn around and basically, I do a spin and I hit them. And I hit one of them into the other. and they both go crashing through the wall of the inn next to us.
All right, yeah, they go kind of through, leaving one in front of you with the sword out. And so you've got the three coming down from the roof. Coda, what are you doing?
I look at the remaining ninja. I say, have you heard of Drunken Master style?
I've heard of Dead Master style.
I look at Shinkazu. His witty repartee is not that witty. I was going to tell him about Drunken Zen Master style. Ninja, you are most disappointing. And I'm going to just whack him with my staff. And let's see, 1 story point. That's a 10. So that is, switch back over here. Okay, up to 12, score a strong hit.
Okay. Yeah, the one that says that had just almost even kind of looked like this will be as a staff, and he sort of falls.
Michael, one of the things I was going to say is I was going to advance to exposed.
Or, oh yeah, this way you're probably already exposed. Exposed means
Okay.
you can have 3. Because at this point, because some are coming from the roof and some were around the corner.
Okay, that's fine.
If you're trying to protect Tetsuharu.
Yeah, that's exactly what
are
I'm
his
trying to do.
samurai still around?
No, the weird thing is the other guards did not seem to join you on this, which probably is a bad thing for the guards. Because his bodyguard just got knocked out as he came across the corner. So both of them, we got the one who's kind of squaring you up, Shinkazu, and his hands are like throwing something towards you as he rushes in. The throw is more of a feint on there, and then you've got the other two that are around Koda. They both sort of move to the side a little bit because they see you do know what you're doing with the weapons, and one of them's also got that sickle and thing and is swinging like the chain, and then trying to like strike you with it while the other one's sort of trying to drop in and get the drop on you. What do you both do for your response to what they're doing?
I'll counterattack.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll. And for Koda?
They've annoyed me. I'm going to counterattack.
All right.
If they're very lucky, I won't take off my robe.
So that's a 10 again.
That's a strong hit.
Yep, and I'm going to bump that up to a grand hit.
You don't even need to. Well, a strong hit. Because you said you spent like a story point to bump it up.
No, I can use the smash attack on my Nodachi.
Oh, that raises up one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it eliminates the enemy. Like a strong or grand hit on a lone strong enemy takes them out before they can even get to you.
Yeah,
So, what does he do? And then rushes in.
As he rushes in, he puts his hand out to throw, and I think I reach out and grab his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull him, and I pull him towards the tip of my sword. And there's just a thunk, and right in the solar plexus.
Mm-hmm.
And he again goes flying back and cools up on the ground.
Okay, he just sort of hits the ground. And then Koda?
2 ninja. So rude. That's another 10.
Damn. Yeah, so you've got the group coming at you. So in that case, yeah, so you take out one of them. The other one does manage to kind of catch you with the swinging with the ring. Go ahead and take one setback and then make a setback roll.
Okay, so add 1 setback point. Roll 2 dice, subtract new setback from it. That is an 8 minus 1 is a 7.
which is right below that. There's the little chart you do.
7 to 9, overcoming adversity, no effect.
Okay, yep, you're good. Okay, let's head back to Akane.
Right.
And you two just running down the hall?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there are some guards who are there who kind of overhear. You see them start to turn a bit. What are you doing as the guards are starting to look your way?
Is there a way that we can duck out, like out of sight?
Yeah, make an overcome to see if you're able to. Or you do that with initiative if you want to.
I'll go with initiative. So let's see. 8.
Yeah, we'll say kind of a strong compromise there. Yeah, so in this case, like you go out a window.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to go quick and you grab her. Go ahead and take one setback because you're going to hit fairly hard because you got to go fast. As you do it, you kind of look back for a second. You see him in the back, the ninja in the back, pulls off his mask real quick and just like, he's still, of course, in black garb and is kind of like trying to almost hide the weapon. He's like, guards, ninja, get them! And yeah, you two can go down. It'll be kind of a rough landing in the bushes outside. But then go take a setback and then make a setback roll.
Okay, roll 2 and subtract 1. Or is it?
Yep, subtract whatever your current setback is.
Okay. Sorry, it should be it's a 5.
5? Okay, so 5 is.
Actually, no, before.
Oh, yeah, impair one of your attributes.
I think if I land hard, I'll impair initiative.
Okay. All right, back in the street. We got 2 ninja left. Oh, I'm sorry, we have 1 ninja left.
Coda, do you want to go first?
I'm absolutely fine if you want to go ahead and do this. I mean, you are a combatant, and I'm a drunken priest, so.
This is the one that's swinging the chain with the camera on the end, isn't it?
Yeah, he actually struck the priest with the not with the comma, but with the ring on the end.
So I think as he's pulling it back, I'm going to actually try and thread the needle with my Nodachi, and basically flick the chain so it circles him.
All right.
And then, so in the, I don't know how you'd actually class that.
Just you're making an attack, I mean, essentially.
Okay. And that's a 6.
A 6 for you is
Fail.
okay. Or is it a weak hit or?
No, they fail.
Oh, total fail. Okay.
Yeah. I get +3 on my next Bushido roll.
Okay. Yeah. So you fail to do it, and as you sort of fail to do it, you actually he manages to like swing it up over, grabs the bottom, and then just flings the comma your way. So what is your response to that comma coming right at you?
I'm doing a counterattack, but I'm doing a counterattack where I basically I'm going to try and actually take the hit as well as I can, and then basically bear hug him.
Okay.
And that's a 4. Oh dear.
All right. Yeah. As it grabs you, you take 1 step back point.
Okay.
And Coda, what do you do while this is happening? You don't make a setback roll, by the way.
Yep.
I look at Shinkazu, incredulously. And I actually start talking to him in the street and saying, Shikazu, seriously? I expected so much more from you. That's why I was allowing you to take this opponent. I thought you might but sneeze and knock them over.
Oh, I would not wish to deprive you of your enjoyment. We must live for fun, after all.
Also, well, it won't make a difference. You got an event actually on
the impairment roll.
Yeah, we also got it on the one before that, which would have been a 5, which I think was still.
Yeah,
still
basically that +1 from earlier is gone.
Yeah, so it looks like you have 3 of your attributes get impaired.
Okay, but as a result of my the second roll was for my Kiwami, which was a 10. So I take a +1 dice on my very next roll and remove 1 impairment of my choice.
All right. And on my attack roll, I got a 9. Gerwin, if you want to spend a support point, we can bump that up to a 10 and take out that last ninja.
Yeah, I think I'm the camera's gone in and caught me on the shoulder, and I think I'm holding on to it and stopping him from pulling it back.
While he's struggling, I just kind of walk up to him, just tap him gently on the shoulder to get his attention. And when the ninja turns and looks at me like, wait, what? I just poleaxe him right between the eyes with the end of the bow staff.
It just crumples to the ground. And Tetsuhara just from behind you is like, oh God, where are my other guards? They should have been trailing us.
I know. Shinkazu nearly broke a sweat.
You two have saved me. If we can get Kiko back.
And I think there's this moment where the comic frame zooms in, and where the actual camera's hit is through my clan crest. And I'm stepping over, and I'm literally just starting kicking the ninja on the floor.
Okay.
Shinkazu, I'm reasonably sure that will not render them more deceased.
And you can tell that Shinkazu is very upset by this.
My friend, you know that I can suture a wound. I can sew this back together.
Isn't the point. See to the goat. I'm fine.
I'm going to go medicine that goat.
All right. You gonna make your roll there? Well, Akane. Taruko just sort of looks at you and then just like, Akane? Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Trying to stop a war from happening.
I was afraid you'd say something like that.
And she's like, we shouldn't stay here. You hear calls like, ninja! Ninja! And like guards are calling for other guards.
Then let us leave.
Okay. 2 of you haul some ass.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get to a place to change out of, or do you leave the fortress itself, or do you get to a place to change?
I go to a place to change out of.
Okay. You make your way back to your room.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just make a stalking roll just to see if you get through. And Koda, how did you roll with the
That's an 8.
All right. They caught him. They caught her really strong, like right in the head. Was a real strong hit, which was actually what knocked the. If they'd have hit a little bit off, they might have killed her. If they'd have hit a little bit off the other way, would have hit the horns. Probably would have been fine. Yeah, you actually kind of managed to get her sort of up and just like And like looks at the bodies around and is like, "What happened?"
Ninja. They were bothersome.
And looks at Shinkazu because clearly your handiwork. He just gives a low bow and it's like, "You've saved my lord. I owe you more than can be said."
I have not saved your lord. I merely struck down some stray ninja.
And where's my bow? We each dispatched an equal number.
He sort of looks and give the bow's not quite as deep. Just, you have my thanks as well. And then Tetsuharu's like, we should get back to fortress. None of the other guards are here.
But there could be more ninja.
At that point, I think that's where we hear the alarm go from the cry of ninja from the
Yeah,
other side.
eventually you hear them. And Akane, you got an 11. You want to make it back to your room? Yeah. You're able to get back there with nobody seeing. One of those things is you see guards like rushing down the hall, and then you two just kind of out from the rafters. You're able to kind of get in and change. And she kind of like grabs, sits down, and just wait. You brought me back to my room or my old room.
This was your room?
Yeah, I had the room here, but they kicked me out of it shortly before, about 2-3 hours ago. Came through, kicked me out, so they had other guests that were going to be taking it.
That would be us.
So she just kind of like laughs for a moment and goes, "Now, you were trying to get revenge. Are they supposed to bring you back or supposed to kill you for abandoning?"
Bring me back, probably.
And she just goes, "You know we're supposed to bring you back."
I imagined, yes.
And then she just kind of sighs. She goes, "Well, we've got some other problems here." Do you then want to cut to all the guards, like guards rushing in the streets to find him, and then meeting up with the three of you or the four of you
It sounds good to me.
out in the street? Yeah. So not too long, like a bunch of the guards sort of come. Tetsuharu kind of pulls himself back up a little bit and goes, uh, uh, Kiko's been hurt. Make sure that a physician sees her. Bring us back to the castle, the
Am
fortress."
I not a physician?
And he just sort of looks and goes, for further care. But please, both of you, if you'll come with me.
Of course, my good samurai.
And you get an escort back. Yeah, and Akane, you hear there's someone kind of comes through and it's like, "Remain in your rooms. Intruders on the premises. Everyone remain in your rooms." What are you two doing?
Do I know where the sword is?
It would have been given to the it would have been basically given to Kanasuku, which means likely given straight. It was given straight to, or probably placed in the room with the Lord.
I suspect they intend to poison the sword.
The information that we got was that someone was coming here to kill Lord Tetsuharu, set up some rumors of war. There's been a few others recently where we've stopped people from placing essentially those who would be loyal to the shogun against him. The wrong thing gets found, the wrong word is killed, and it's going to be difficult to stop the land from going to war.
And this sword would be one of the ones you want to save?
He kind of sighs and goes, "Tetsuharu's an idiot, but Tetsuharu's a loyalist. He was never supposed to be Lord. His older brother was, but his older brother died several years ago. But because he doesn't take a huge interest in ruling, and because he's not particularly competent, he makes a perfect scapegoat. Whoever wants to grab one more story point?
Okay. Well, I kept a close eye on Kita. I didn't see him plant anything during the time I was following him, did I?
No, not where you're from, but you didn't kind of have track of him the whole time either. Like you saw him there, and then he had at least some time. You don't know how long he was in that room for.
Right. So what are you going to do?
Because I got to find out who the actual who the people are here that are trying to kill him. Ideally, get the proof and stop it. But currently, there's so many here.
So I get the impression she doesn't know who Kita is.
Nope.
Well, the one who attacked you is the one who goes by the name Kita.
There's Kita. There's an awful lot of people here. I don't know who that is.
The fox who travels with the Shinju clan.
Right, it's kind of wide. Then we got Koda and Shinkazu. As you come with the royal guard, or with the guard into the fortress, Tetsuharu is just like he kind of breaks out a little bit more into sweat once you get inside the fortress itself. As his nerves start to get a little bit more of free reign on there, he's like, "Ninja were sent to kill me." He just kind of takes a deep breath and goes,
Why were they sent to kill a samurai?
sort of stops and goes, "I am Lord Tetsuharu. I was visiting old friends. Gambling is just my want."
I see. They were sent to interrupt your recreation time. What a vile thing to do.
I don't know why. We're made no enemies. I barely concern myself with the other lords. I stay here, do my own thing.
Shinkazu, do you have any idea why the ninja might be here?
I cannot. I will not speak ill truth. I will not speak a subterfuge or a lie. Although I say this, the presence of the Shinju does not bode well for this.
Lux goes, and this might be about the time where, like here in a moment, where they're going to kind of come by the room, Akane, that you're in case you want to poke your head out. As the sort of guards coming through, and he's just like, he goes, "I understand you have problems with the Shinju in the past, but there's plenty of different houses that have gone to war but have not had treachery. And that was a time before the shogun made the peace."
Are they coming towards the room?
Yeah, here they'll be kind of walking past. Shinkazu, what are you saying?
Indeed, there was. As I say, I have no proof. Merely I've experienced their tactics and their dishonor before.
Not everything that happens in a war is dishonor. And the Shinju may have done some damage, but without proof, I don't know, Kane,
Indeed.
I don't know if that's when you want to poke your head out.
Without proof.
I'm gonna look out.
Akane! You missed it. There were ninja.
Ah, so that's what the commotion was.
In town, yes. There were 6 of them.
And you
We
look
beat
back,
them
and you see
quite handily.
there is a woman in the room with him,
Akane.
dressed
I'm
like,
sorry, I
in a fairly nice dress. Looks like a lesser nobilities.
I see we
Akane.
interrupted something.
Yes, my apologies. My lady, I'm Shinkazu Fujiyama.
I am
It's a pleasure.
Taneku Ogata. I am a cousin of Akane's.
Family, then.
I sigh. Kane, I had hopes for you, but
Because she's Tetsuharu there, and then kind of like looks like Akane. She's kind of smiles and turns your way, and her eye, like, just so you can see, her eyes go a little bit wide. She's at Tetsuharu's kind of right out there. One of the guards also comes up and goes, these are the 3 who recovered the sword." Tetsuharu sort of looks over and goes, "I owe you a great deal of thanks."
It is a duty.
You're the honorable samurai and priest. Your thanks. I am a mere companion.
He looks. He goes, "But he was with you."
Akane, your cousin is nobility. She is samurai. I suspect there is something you're not telling us.
He just goes, "If please, you'll come. I know I can trust you. If you'll come with me. I would prefer to have some around that people may not be aware of. If those guards were either killed, betrayed me, or someone knew that they were there." He kind of nods to his guards, and they start taking him towards his quarters. If you wish to go with.
I definitely think I'm going with.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Taruko is kind of just like, "I should probably remain behind." You will speak.
I suppose we will.
All right. And then um, she just kind of starts to leave the room, and then the guards are like, "Everyone's supposed to stay," and things like, and then the door sort of shuts, leaving her there. Go into his room. They some servants have gone in and lit the fire. You see that there is up on a thing the uh, Taratsagu sword is up on a little on a chest there, and it's up in a thing, and he just kind of comes in and goes, "Death threats. I mean, assassination. Ninja are not cheap. They'd spend enough to try to get me killed."
You have some enemies you do not know about. Is there anyone you have displeased recently?
No, and he kind of looks over at the sword and goes, "I mean, if it weren't for you, I might have displeased the shogun because we told him about this sword. But the only thing I think of is someone as he starts to like walk over towards the sword."
I want you to while he was talking, I want you to slip over and have a look at the sword. Just
make a ninjutsu roll, or I guess stalking roll, see if you can do without being noticed.
stalking support. I think I didn't add, so it's a 6. So 6. It is get a weak clue.
And at this point, I'm going to continue talking to the Lord to keep his attention on us.
Okay.
So I'll spend a support point to help you with that. I think that knocks it up to. Is that a +1 or a +3?
Support points +1. He could use a story point to get it up to +3.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to do that.
I thought a 7 was a success.
Is it? No, it's up to 6 is a weak clue. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would work.
Well, he's got a 5 now, so he would need.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had a 6.
No. I had a 6 because I didn't add the +1.
Oh, okay. But what does a 6 get you?
6 gets me a weak clue.
Yeah, so you'll want more than you'll
Yeah.
see it there, but you're not going to be able to. If you're trying to like switch it out before he gets there, you'll need more than that.
So I'll spend the support point to carry on talking to the Lord to give him time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Give her time to do that. Sorry.
And what's a 7 get you?
Strong clue. Follow a strong target without being seen. Flee, break off from grand target without being
I think
discovered.
strong would let you like in this time. So Shinkazu, what do you say is as he starts walking towards the sword?
There are many in the court whose motives are not clear. The time of warring may have ended, but that does not mean that there are not those out there that wish you and your clan harm. Are there any that come to mind?
Stops and sort of turns and goes, I don't quite know. And Akane, as you go, you notice that it has been placed so if someone were to grab it by the hilt itself, which would only really happen with the Lord here, because or possibly the Shogun. Anyone else would grab it by the scabbard. It has been placed in there inexpertly and probably not inexpertly, but at least quickly. So it's one that you actually manage to kind of like pull it out. Without sticking yourself with it, can imagine, and you're not entirely sure what kind of poison it's on there, but if you're going this far, it's probably not a small one.
So I will put that somewhere safe in my person.
Yep. And he just sort of, as he's thinking, he goes, I can't think of any enemies. He kind of goes back to the sword. At this point, he kind of just walks over and kind of puts his hand on it, and like pulls it out of the scabbard and takes a look at it, and goes, the sword is the only thing I can think of. Nothing I've done would have. I mean, the Shogun just made the peace. No one's going to go to war over trying to take my territory. That would require a huge amount of permission.
Then perhaps it was not you that that was the target here. Perhaps they seek to blame your death on another.
At one point, there's the knock on the door happens, and the captain of the guard comes in and goes, "We've searched. We've not found any sign of the ninja that we were chasing. We will keep everyone in their rooms and double the guard." He goes, "Thank you. Is Kiku okay?" So she'll be with you shortly.
What were the names of those guards outside the inn?
He rattles off their names.
Then we should find them before their accomplices do away with them.
We have people looking.
I'll look to Akane. Would you be able to help in this?
I could ask around town and see if anybody's.
Titsahara just goes, "Not sure what use of farmer is going to be, but we have our guards looking for them. They know the town. They're from the city."
My lord, before this evening, I suspect you would have questioned what use a priest would be, besides offering blessings and performing weddings. Akane is accomplished in many things,
There are things that people will say in front of a peasant that they will not say in front of a samurai.
Or a priest, for that matter.
Mm. Before you go, though, Akane, just a question. Your cousin?
We might be able to skip part of this. All Akane is going to find is they're going to find the bodies of the guards.
Okay,
Yeah, so the guards themselves are not betrayers. They are all dead.
okay, that's fine.
My relationship with my family is complicated. I'd rather not go into it right now, if that is okay.
No, that is fine. I have no wish to poke. I just surprised you have such. I'm surprised you kept such a pretty cousin from us.
Really, Shinkazu? You're surprised that Akane kept a pretty cousin away from your knowledge? And I just kind of smile, and my eyes are twinkling. And if I were close enough, I'd elbow Shinkazu, like, seriously? You're surprised?
I refer you to our earlier conversation.
I remember our earlier conversation.
There is some beauty in this world. Just because
There is.
I seek to complete my mission does not mean I do not wish to see it all.
And I start shaking my head. At this rate?
I excuse myself and go see if I can find the missing person.
Okay. Well,
But before too long, the guards will. You don't even necessarily be that far out before guards come back saying they found the guards and they're dead.
Okay. Well, I don't think we're going to discover much more tonight. I would suggest, my lord, that if you were to sleep here, we will watch guard over you.
There are other places where I will be safe. Please get some sleep. My guards and my bodyguard will be here soon.
Very good. There is just one thing. I made a promise to your minister, Kanasuko, that I would not draw my blade. I've honored that promise. May I remove the knot?
Looks over at the captain of the guard that's there and goes, Shinkazu Fujiyama has freedom to use his blade in defense of myself.
Thank you. And I'll untie the knot.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to get much more done tonight. So should we hard cut to the morning, or?
Yeah, or with the three of you together in the room talking, or
yeah. An interesting night.
You have a better idea of who the Lord is now, don't you?
Well, yes, but I promised you I would not give up your subterfuge or his.
And you did.
I maintained that promise.
You did. And you now know more about who the Lord is. Does he strike you as someone who is unkind?
No, but he strikes me as someone with connections to criminals.
My dear Shinkazu, depending on how you look at it, we have connections with criminals. To some people, we are criminals.
To the unrighteous, yes.
I think that this Lord may have received poor counsel from a retainer.
Indeed. But how do we show that to him? Or is it our place to show it to him? I'm more concerned in the short term that there will be another attempt on his life.
Oh, almost certainly.
Akane, what happened here? What were there more ninjas?
There was one.
What were they doing?
Well,
Ninja stuff.
he attempted to plant this on the sword. Had I not found it in time, then the Lord would no longer be with us.
You say he. You know who he is?
Yes.
Who is he?
I believe you spoke with him. He was one of the Shinju clan, the fox who was willing to entertain
Kita.
Yes, Kita.
The one who wanted blessings. I wonder why.
We have no proof of this. Except your testimony.
Which means nothing, unfortunately.
Can you get that that pin onto another blade?
I could.
Would you be able to get it onto his blade if he was suitably distracted?
I might.
Well, it's a good thing that you have a suitable distraction.
Tomorrow, I think if we can distract him long enough, I will cause a scene. His hand goes to his blade, even if he does not draw it. He will spike himself. I cannot bring him to the Shogun's justice, the Emperor's justice, but he needs to pay for this. Do you concur?
I can't disagree with your logic. There are higher forms of justice.
I can do this thing you ask.
How much time do you need?
How much time can you give me?
Well, I can get you as much time as I can until they get bored and start looking elsewhere. Because they did not finish their blessings, nor their instruction.
That should suffice.
Then let us get a decent night's sleep. For tomorrow we are the agents of justice.
Agents of justice? You make it sound so formal, like it is... like we're some kind of team.
I can make an oath if you wish.
Shinkazu, you take things so seriously.
And you do not take things seriously enough.
This is because I am trained in Zen Buddhism.
And this is because I am a samurai.
We need to lighten your heart before you die.
I can think of an excellent way to make it one ninja lighter.
I'm sorry, did you say one Shinja lighter? And I wink.
And I think that's seen at that point.
It's like we're a team of heroes, of like neat heroes, of like really great, neat heroes. We'll figure a better thing for it. All right. The next day, as the various like people come through and talk to each of the various congregations. Soon they're going to have people starting to leave to make their way to Edo. What are you all planning on doing?
What? I've got a scene in mind, but it would require Lord Tetsuharu's assistance, and I want to run it by the other characters first.
Mm-hmm.
If we have Tetsuharu fake being poisoned, when he falls, the other samurai in the room would naturally reach for their weapons.
And all the eyes would be on him.
Yes. But at that point, the ninja will have the weapon in his hand, so we're going to need to do something to put the spike on the sword before we do that. Is this one of those traditional inns, one of the traditional rooms where the samurai leave their katana at the actual at the door when they come in, or do they wear them into the inn itself?
Well, they're in sort of the fortress, and most of them will keep them on them, but they're supposed to keep them sheathed.
Mm.
So, Akane, you're the front man on this. How do you want us to handle this?
So, from what I know, as a out of character, from what my character knows, what would be the best way to plant this? Like,
If you can get the thing is you had the ninja mask and stuff on, so he has not seen you. He doesn't recognize you. So it'd be a thing where you could, if you had him distracted, you might be because you even necessarily have to put it like incredibly well on his sword. It just needs to be there, particularly if you know he's probably going to be grabbing for it soon.
mm-hmm. Okay. I just need a distraction long enough that I can slip it in.
Kota, what do you have in mind?
Benedictions, of course. Religious instruction. I mean, they have clearly not been engaging in right conduct.
What do you wish me to do?
I will approach them at their table while they eat. All I need from you is to ensure that they stay seated.
So you wish me to be the other side of the room then? And non-threatening?
If possible, yes.
I will do my best. Akane, are you able to borrow some of the robes of the servants here?
Shouldn't be a problem.
Could you serve the tables? That would allow you to get close enough. Then it sounds like we have a plan.
Okay. So do this during like breakfast the next day?
Of course, during breakfast.
Okay. So we've got Akane, you disguise yourself as one of the servers. And Koda is going to go up and speak with them, and then Shinkazu, what are you going to be doing?
I'm the other side of the room, still visibly upset, trying to repair the family mon.
Yeah. All right. So I think we probably start with Koda, and then Akane will make. Yeah, when you tell Tetsuharu, he just sort of smiles. If this was like the actual comic, we wouldn't know Tetsuharu wasn't dead until after. When he gets up and is like, "That was an excellent plan."
Exactly what I was thinking.
All right, so we get Koda to set it up, and then Akane to take it home.
My dear friends, Kita, your associates, Good morrow to all of you. Blessings, blessings, 1,000 blessings to you.
They sort of look like they seem
You're muted.
they seem much more on edge. On here is just they just sort of look up and they're like, "Well, you're not drunk. You should get something to eat before we all leave. The road to Ito is long."
You're right. I am not drunk. I should correct that very soon. But first, our conversation yesterday was interrupted, and I wish to continue it and finish it.
Kind of thing. If you want to make your Buddhism roll, is it just kind of like, oh god.
Alrighty. And then I roll with support points, correct?
I believe with
don't
Buddhism,
have
is that what it says?
Yeah. I do not have any support points at the moment, so I'm rolling flat. That's a 10. So, well, it only gives me up to 9, so yeah. Actually, no. 10 or more perform grand doctoring, medicine, invoke a grand aspect of Buddhism. Yeah, so I'm going to invoke I'm going to invoke a grand aspect of Buddhism and really, really lay it on them. Right,
Yes.
livelihood, right mindfulness, all of it.
Yeah, as they're sort of, you see, there's this moment where they're just, and like Akane, as you're sort of coming up, the hand almost goes to the sword when he starts, but then kind of comes back, and you're gonna place it.
Yep.
Make your ninjutsu roll.
Okay. So, roll. It's an 8.
Okay. You either get support from people, or do you want to spend story points?
I will spend a story point to make that.
And remember
11.
that turns to a support.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, as you manage to come through, so that makes it 11. You get it in there, and probably Tetsuhara is probably looking at the Shinkazu for a signal that things are good to go once our Akane gives it over.
I will pick up the drink that was the signal and take the drink.
And he stands up and goes, "I'm not feeling well. I think we should." And then just kind of collapses to the ground. At which point, and Akane, do you want to be in a position where he's going to be able to look you straight in the eyes?
Sure.
As he goes, he gets up and like kind of grabs his sword, and as he gets up and spins around, like looking, doesn't quite recognize you, but like may catch something in your eye. As Kita, like you just see the look of recognition as he realizes the needle has gone into him. Just.
Everyone stay in your seat.
Yeah, then just thump. One person collapses as Kita hits the ground.
Ninja!
And suddenly people are up. They've got swords. Tetsuhara picks himself up and goes, "Was that him?" And then there's like a bunch of the guards come in. There's a lot of hubbub in the room.
I will go over to the Shinga. What has happened to your companion?
Seems like he's collapsed or fallen. And they kind of see that he's like rigid already.
Kota! I'm right here, Shinkazu. Yes.
We need to get him to a room and treat him.
Very well. Can you pick him up?
I will move to pick him up, and I'm assuming they don't want to let me.
Yeah, I would say as I pick up Akane, you actually see, like, as part of his shirt moves, you see that he's got the scroll with that he was used for framing. Lord Tetsuhara, you can see it from where you're standing.
What is that?
He cannot breathe. Loosen his clothes. And I'm gonna basically pull his obi and
All right.
the scroll tumbles to the floor. If
All right. So, Akane, do you want to be the one to grab it?
Yeah.
All right.
And I just like does it unfurl? What is it? Is it sealed or like?
No, it's not sealed.
Can it? So it unfurls, and I just get a look at.
You see, yeah, in there is like information about a plot. There are a number of the different families that are here that are insinuated on there. You're not sure if the handwriting actually matches, but you're guessing it doesn't. Lord Tetsuharu is on there as well, and it's about trying to overthrow like a secret war that will come together to overthrow the shogun.
And this would be incriminating to.
Oh yeah, this is what you someone's executed for. Now, granted, it probably won't be hard for them to tell. They'll be able to look and see it's a counterfeit, particularly with who had it.
And being a peasant, like I are peasants illiterate? Actually,
not all of them.
farmers need to record their crops and.
Yeah, we'll say some are, but not all.
So I'll get a glance at what's on it, and I will gasp in shock.
What is it, Kane?
Here, have a look at this.
This cannot be. And I'll turn on the. I'll throw it to Lord Tetsuharu.
Tetsuharu.
You seek to frame this good lord?
Tetsuharu looks at it and goes, a scroll here that says that myself, the families Yoneda, Sonata, Kotani, all here, we're going to be in rebellion against the shogun. And all of us are loyal. This, remember the Shuja clan was trying to frame us. They kind of come up, like, this is not my handwriting. And like a couple of the other like lords like rush up to him. Then they're sort of looking and like they are. Yeah, they just sort of look down and they're like the rest of the Shuja.
Such a crime cannot go unpunished.
And what do you do?
Well, if they don't run, I'm going to cut them down. I'm going to cut the Jinga down.
Yeah, they will run kind of straight into the hands of the guards if you want to chase them.
Yeah.
Okay. Just as you rush forward, like they rush through and the guards kind of grab them. And he goes, Shinkazu, you've done well. However, they have information to give.
You only need one, my lord.
He just kind of takes a moment. He goes, they will all be joining their friend.
But this is not my lands. Shh.
Sort of comes up. He goes, we don't know which one we need. We don't know who has the information, but trust me, all of them shall follow after him. And points at the dead ninja.
I just ask one thing. I draw my sword again in a draw cut, and I'm cutting through. I'm going to do a cut through the clothing where the Shinja clan motto, clan logo is. I'm basically going to cut them all.
Or is it they go a single swipe and then they all just? All right, that sounds like a good place to end.
Yeah, sounds like a perfect place to me.
Sweet.
Damn it, I didn't get to kill them.
They'll get there. All right.